What is going on, YouTube? My name is Vurgee, and welcome to the first episode of High School Stories. If you don't know what High School Stories is, link in the description below. I was planning to have Warhead on here, but it's just so much stuff I gotta do today, and to save time, I'm just gonna do it myself, but I promise on the next episode, yeah, he'll be here. I'm gonna make him. But anyway, today's high school story is gonna be about Mr. Dodge. Mr. Dodge was my science teacher when I was a freshman in high school, and he was awesome. And the main reason why he was awesome was because, well, basically he was teaching for so long. He was teaching for, I don't know, maybe over 30 years. I'm not sure, but he told stories, he was funny. We watched a shit ton of movies in his class, and I mean a shit ton. And we've never really had homework because there weren't enough books for us to take home. So basically, he would just print something out, and then we'd read it and answer the questions. And that was basically it. But anyway, why I picked him to be on this is because we watched so many movies. How he taught was just, I don't know. I wish every teacher would teach like that. Let's say, for instance, I remember this one instance we were learning about the weather. We learned about lightning, hail, a whole bunch of stuff on weather. And then when we were done that, we watched The Day After Tomorrow. And, and then we move on to the next section. And we usually watch the video over, everything we covered. I remember we did a section or whatever, we went over deforestation and stuff similar to that, and we watched Over the Hedge. I remember we watched Jurassic Park when we learned about dinosaurs. We watched the Bee Movie. I don't know what we were learning. Maybe insects? And we watched the Bee Movie? I don't know, but we watched, maybe 10 or so movies in that class. And Mr. Dodge, even though he was a teacher, he had another job. He worked at a tool distribution place called, what was it, Western? I don't remember the name of the place. It doesn't really matter. But he would always tell us, the stories about, bad customers and different experiences. One story that I remember is back when, let's see. Our old high school was a piece of crap, so they built a new one. And I never got to see what the old one looked like, but when he was teaching at the old building, in his classroom he had a big jug of pure sodium. And sodium on the left hand, all the way on the left of the periodic table of elements, I believe. And sodium, when mixed with water, it goes kaboom. See, pure sodium is actually somewhat dangerous, but when mixed with, let's say, chloride or something, sodium chloride, you get salt. It's not that bad. But anyway, he had this big tub thing full of sodium, and the school made him get rid of it because, I don't know, they must have thought it was too dangerous or something. So he told us a story about at his house, he had a lake or so. And in the winter, he went out to the lake, broke a hole through the ice and threw the sodium in and basically took off. And he said he remembered, he's on his four-wheeler, so he remembered driving away on his four-wheeler and just huge explosion and ice chunks and just debris flying everywhere, coming down on him. Yeah, that was awesome. He was also into, classic cars and stuff. He actually has an old Chevelle. I don't remember what year, but I think he either got it restored or he restored it himself. He didn't really specify on what happened. But anyway, he was in the old cars, which was pretty cool. And he had apple trees at his house. He had Golden Delicious. Yeah, Golden Delicious apples. And every now and then he would bring in some for the class to eat while we were working, and just an amazing teacher. It was awesome. Which kind of stinks because that was the last year he taught. My freshman year of high school was his last year. So basically that year was the last anyone ever, well, you got the gist. And he was, I'm not sure if they still do this, but when he was teaching the school district, whatever, your vacation days would stack. If you didn't use them and the next year rolled around, they would just stack on and on and on and on. And he was teaching for so long that he had, I don't know, over 100 or 200 or so sick days. So basically, he could not teach for an entire school year if he wanted to. He had that many, paid sick days off, which, wow, that's awesome. And even though he was this awesome guy, so he really didn't take any shit, I want to say. Because I remember in my class, there was this one girl that would just, I don't know, would always give him an attitude, I guess. And eventually, he was just like, I don't want to deal with this anymore, just leave. Like, I remember many times, like, it was like the beginning of the class, she said something, and he was just like, get out. She was giving him so much attitude, and, she would just leave. I mean, that's probably what happens when you teach for that long. Yeah, he was probably one of my favorite teachers, my freshman year. I'm trying to think if I had any more. But, I mean, that's basically all what I have on him. He's just this awesome teacher. We watched so many movies. He told stories. That's basically it. So, my name is Vurgee. I'll see you next time. Warhead Revo will be on the next high school stories, and I know what we're going to talk about. It's either going to be one or two things, but my name is Vurgee. I'll see you next time.
Reload. Friendly care package inbound. UAV awaiting orders. AGR awaiting orders. Friendly AGR inbound. Care package inbound. Friendly hunter-killer drone deployed. Fire up! Keep up the pressure, SEALs. Spinning up. Be advised, hostile UAV incoming. Good job, SEALs. Stand by for further orders.